Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Syntell, and I just got done reviewing episode 4 of Loki. Yo, if you have not been paying attention to this show, you have been missing out. Like, don't get me wrong, I was one of the ones that thought it kind of started off a little bit slow. It's been like one of those things that's been going on with these Marvel properties, especially when you think about WandaVision and you think about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It kind of like has like a bit of a slow build, but then it just like grabs you. And episode 4 is that episode that grabbed me completely and pulled me into the world. The stakes couldn't be higher, and there are some big, massive spoilers that are going to be in this video. So if you have not seen episode 4 yet, you probably want to turn this video off, watch episode 4, come on back home, and then we're going to discuss it. So let's get ready. Episode 4 is called The Nexus Event. Stakes are on the line. Loki and his Loki counterpart, the female version of Loki, they grow even more. There's some really dope scenes that go on in this particular one. One of the things that's like really interesting that we were left off with in episode 3 is there was like this connection that was going along with him, and Loki, who is the god of mischief, doesn't seem to shy away from any opportunity to get closer to people. Like, there's this thing that's going on in like Norse mythology concerning Loki being a horse at some time, and he ends up having sex with another horse and then dropping another pony on the side. Yeah, that's like really weird, right? Some weird, strange stuff. So it really shouldn't surprise you that he would find love with himself, if that makes sense. You can't get any more narcissistic than only being able to love yourself internally and externally, right? Like, there's narcissism, and then there's Loki. There's nothing that Loki cares more about than himself, and he shows it in this particular episode. But you kind of root for it, right? They make a cute couple. Does that make sense? It sounds crazy to me, but it seems like they make a cute couple. Well, they have like this like bonding moment when death is like right at the door because they're stuck on this planet. They're stuck because the device that allows them to move around the universe, it ran out of batteries. They're kind of like stuck to seal their fate together, and they have like this bonding moment. It's really sweet, actually. But before that, there's also this amazing moment. We get the chance to see the variant female version of Loki. We get to see how she became. Like, there's this flashback sequence of when she was a child, and she's in Asgard playing with her toys, and then the timekeepers show up and snatch her up because they say that she's a variant. She's a child, right? So how much crazy damage is she going to do if she's like, 6 years old? It's just one of those things that make you like scratch your head. And obviously she's gonna feel some kind of way about that, and she wants revenge. She discovers how to hide in the timeline to stay away from the TVA, and she plots her revenge to meet the timekeepers, the final timekeepers, and destroy them. It was a great little subplot. I really appreciated it. We also get a chance to take a look at Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, and his boss. We kind of knew something was kind of off a little bit because she's not telling them the whole story, but then once we find out that she was actually the person responsible for snatching up the female variant Loki and letting her escape, that she's kind of like all in, I guess, as a way to like make up for her mistake. She's like, full-blown TVA all the way. Let me make up this mistake because I've embarrassed myself in front of like the universe's most powerful people. Owen Wilson's not stupid. He knows that something's up. Loki puts a little something in his ear saying that, the TVA isn't what you think it is. You need to be careful. And then of course, he's an investigator, so he's gonna dig in and try to figure out what exactly is going on. He steals like one of the communicators from his boss and discovers that the other TVA authority, I think her name was like B20, she ends up getting killed. They do away with her because she knew too much. The female Loki superpower is being able to look into your past and use your memories to help her be devious and get her way. But what she realizes is that she's digging into these people's memories, and they have real memories before they were involved with the TVA. Everybody in the TVA just assumes that the timekeepers brought them into being and that they never had lives before this, only to discover that timekeepers actually snatched these people up made them variants, and stole their life away. So that's like the big secret. That's the big thing that the Timekeepers have been trying to like hide from everybody. I think the Timekeepers are trying to get a hold of the female Loki so that she doesn't expose the rest of the universe to the ultimate truth as to why they have to keep like this royal timeline, which we still don't know the reason behind the why, as why they're keeping this royal timeline. One of the funniest parts to me is when Loki gets locked up in a time loop and he has to meet up with his sister in Asgard. And I guess when he was a kid, he must have cut her hair and ran off with it or done something foolish. Well, anyways, his sister comes up and she's about to exact her revenge. So, you know, she kicks him in the balls and and gives him a right cross, which is absolutely well placed, and he's stuck in this moment like over and over and over again. And because he's forced to have to like look at this moment of time of him being like a jerk to his sister, he does kind of like have a bit of a revelation, and he admits to her, he's like, yo, I'm like this selfish narcissistic person that only cares about themselves and is just craving attention. So he has like that small little moment of revelation. It's like this whole thing has been a whole process to like show us Loki's humanity per se, which he does have humanity. He's just still the god of mischief, and he's going to be what he is, but he's not all bad. I think that's what we're learning. There's like this big amount of gray area that surrounds bad guys, and Loki in particular. The X factor in all of this, the thing that nobody really sees coming, is B-15. She was the person that was, once again, just like go hard for TVA. It's all about maintaining what the Timekeepers want and blah, blah, blah. But then during one of her encounters with the female Loki, Loki touches her mind and she gets like a small glimpse into the life that she had from before. She ends up kidnapping female Loki, takes her to an apocalyptic place so they can't be tracked, and asks her, and was like, did that really happen? And she shows her the truth, which really comes in handy later on in the series. Mobius ends up taking his boss's telecommunicator pad thing, like their little I don't know, galactic iPhone, goes back in the past and sees the interview that she had with B-20, and B-20 is over here telling the world what happened regarding her memories. And then he sees his boss's face in the communicator and knows that she was a part of killing B-20. That was enough for him to realize that I'm not being told the full truth. Mobius hops back in, breaks out Loki. As soon as they get out, they have this great moment, and they're like, yo, we're friends, I'm gonna help each other, you can trust me. And then as soon as he gets out, who's out there waiting for him? Yo, the boss. With their little disappearing sticks. What you don't see coming is that she hits Owen Wilson with it and he fades to black, ladies and gentlemen. He is gone. Dead. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, so Owen Wilson's boss, I think her last name is like Renslayer. She ends up taking both of the Lokis to go see like the Timekeepers, the Time Masters, the three guys that sit on their throne of time. This is kind of like what the Lokis really wanted though. So they get in there and they want to watch the Timekeepers, want the Lokis there so they can like watch them get executed. So everybody's there, like the whole band is there. The three Timekeepers, both Lokis, Renslayer is there as well. Lo and behold, B-15 pops up out of nowhere, throws Loki one of the swords, and Spritty's like, go team. And bedlam ensues. Both Lokis end up fighting all of the TVA soldiers and actually discover that the Timekeepers aren't who they say they are. They're not these mystical guys. They're actually robots. Plot twist, like janky, weird looking Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza robots, the animatronic kind of ones. It's like one of those kind of things. Now they're like, well, where are the Timekeepers? Who's actually like running all of this? And they have a moment, right? Like they really get to sit and like look at one another, because they never really get a chance to take a moment to like, I guess, sort their own things out. So, you know, they're like looking into each other's eyes, and the original OG Loki is like, yo, I got something to tell you. And right when you think he's about to like profess his love and be like, I love you, he gets hit with the time stick and starts dissolving. Yeah, bro, they did that. Owen Wilson gone, Loki gone, or are they? See, that's the thing, right? We just don't know. Come to find out, it was Renslayer that was still, I guess, not knocked out completely, and she ends up getting her revenge. So there's like an after thing. Well, My son calls it the after thing. It's like the Easter egg that comes after the credits. Loki wakes up and he's in like this foreign place. Everything is kind of like all gray and he thinks he's dead. He's asking, he's like, am I dead? Is this hell? What's going on? And then he looks up and then there's 3 other like Loki variations staring at him like, yo, you're not dead, but if you want to survive, then you probably want to come hang with us. What's crazy is like the way the Lokis look. Like one is black, one is a kid, and the other one has like the old school Marvel uniform from like back in like, I don't know, like the 70s or something. The cityscape that's behind them is all like broken down, destroyed, and like desolate. So wherever they are, it's not gonna be a fun place. And then it kind of like leaves you right there on that cliffhanger. So I think that was like a quick little summary. It wasn't necessarily quick, but I mean, you know what I mean. All that to say is that there is like 6 episodes total in the Loki series, right? And we're on episode 4. And we were kind of wondering when everything was gonna like really start jumping off, when everything was gonna start get the ball rolling, and it has happened. So we're left with a whole lot of things like, where is Mobius? Where is Loki? The female Loki, the variant, is she going to be destroyed by Renslayer? What's going on with the TVA? Who's running the show? Where are the timekeepers per se? All of these questions, and we still only have like 2 more episodes left. And all of this is supposed to help like push and form another narrative regarding like the rest of the MCU. You know, everything from Doctor Strange's new movie that's coming out, where it's going to be like dealing with a whole lot of different time stuff. Maybe there could be like a tie-in with reality bending with what was going on with the Scarlet Witch, with WandaVision. I don't know, like all bets are off right now, right? Everything dealing with all these different timelines is really setting the stage for this next installment of all the new MCU movies that's going to be coming in. It even makes you wonder, like, are the time variants gonna bring in all the multiple Spider-Man that could potentially be coming? Because there's hints that there could be more than just one Spider-Man. Like, all of this seems like it could be the fulcrum to get everything going. I'm curious as to what this golden timeline, the big variant timeline, when both Lokis were together, it caused like this massive like spike, right? So we don't really know what that means. And then like, what's the truth behind keeping only one timeline? Because somewhere in the series, somebody had said something to the effect of, the thing about the universe is that it creates like these random moments in order to deviate from the timeline, hence the variant Loki being there. So it's kind of like the will of the universe to have all these variations, but there's something else out there that's forcing everything to be on just one timeline. I think that's fascinating. I think that's about it for this. We just got to sit back and wait and see what's going on with episode 5. I think the ball's going to get really rolling on that, because episode 6 is probably going to be one of those things where you tie all the loose ends up. It's already ramped up. Episode 5 is probably going to be absolutely crazy, and then they'll tie everything up with episode 6. And I will make sure that there is a review for 5 and 6 as well. That's going to be about it for this one. Yo, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you know every single time that I drop some stuff, you can be right there with me. My name is Syntell. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.